Thanks for downloading this special seasonal mini-series of the Mikeysline Speaking of Suicide podcast. I'm Pennie Stuart, and with me is Shona Macpherson. And across the 12 days of Christmas, Shona is giving us some mental health tips to help us when times get tough.
So we're carrying on with Be Here Now, and this is part 2 of this skill. So Pennie, we're now going to be in the present moment, be here now. Just to remind folks, being in the present moment is a lovely place to be, but it's also incredibly useful so that we don't get hooked massively on our thoughts or pushed around by difficult emotions and avoid them. It's the place that we can notice that stuff's happening. So that's one of the reasons to be here in the present. So we're now going to focus on the sense of touch and how that can help us be here now. So Pennie, what do you feel? No, not. Do you trust me?
Yes.
Yes? Great. Let's walk together a little bit.
Okay.
And invite you just to look sort of straight ahead, and invite you to, if you feel able to, we're just going straight ahead. Do you feel okay to close your eyes?
Yeah.
We're not going to go so far. And in a moment, I'm going to give you something, and I want you to imagine, like, you're an alien and you haven't got a sense of sight or sound or anything like that, so you're just seeing the world, feeling the world. So if you pause there for a second, I'm just going to give you something. And I want you to, are you ready to receive it? Mm-hmm. And you've only got one hand, Pennie is holding a microphone. But can you experience this through your sense of touch and just tell us what that's like to experience the world through just being able to feel? What information have you got?
So I can feel a roughness, a grittiness. So I'm assuming that the thing, I know what it is you've given me. I'm guessing that you've given me a piece of a twig or a broken piece of branch. So I can feel, as I move it around in my hand, the dirt or surface coming off it. So there's a that's kind of a predominant feeling. It's cold. It's a cold day, so as I clench it, I can really feel the coldness, the dampness, actually. It's hard, but not kind of cold metal hard. It's got just a coolness to it, but I can feel that it's made of a material that would flake.
Brilliant. Yeah, and there's probably lots more we could do, but you got a lot of information there, didn't you, from just feeling it? Have a wee look if you want. Is that as you'd imagine it to have been?
Well, I didn't think you'd give me quite such a dirty twig.
I looked for the most dirty one I could find, obviously.
Thanks, Shona. My hand is now absolutely black. You picked the muddiest twig you could find, but yes, that is pretty much what I think it would be. Though slightly, it is less muddy now because most of the mud is on me.
Yeah, there you go. And that is such, again, an example. Any of us can do this, just to get into the present. Maybe we feel we're having a horrible time in our own minds or whatever, and it's too much, and just to get into the present we can just touch something and get all that information, and there's so much there. And let's just do one last sense. Let's go for sound. Okay. You work in audio, Pennie, so this is going to be your one again. So I'm going to not talk, and I'm going to try not to move, and just invite you to notice and name all the different sounds that you can hear.
I'm going to turn this back on you a bit. I'm going to get you to close your eyes this time, because I want you to really listen. Now you're going to hear the water to our side, just a trickle of it. There's some birds. In the background, in the distance, there's going to be the traffic. Maybe you can pick that up. I can hear, there must also be some workmen somewhere relatively close. I can hear the odd machine noise. It's more of a kind of constant thrum. Mostly it's the birds and the trickle that's coming and going.
There's so many layers, isn't there, as well? Yeah. And when you said that, I want you to really listen. That was so interesting, because I am very conscious that we're recording this podcast, and it's really hard to listen when you're also thinking, what am I going to say next? Do I sound okay? And all of that. And then I just thought, oh, right, Pennie's in charge now, so I can actually just listen. We've gone through in these last 2 skills, sight, being in the present through our sense of sight, through our sense of touch, through our sense of sound. And as you're listening to this, the sound one for some of us is really difficult, because the thing that stops us hearing, as I was saying earlier with my own experience, is our own internal chatter. Or maybe sight feels too much. Maybe some of you see things that you don't want to see. So with these, again, play around with them. Find what sense helps you be in the present. But I really encourage you to try these skills. But a reminder as well, these are generalised pieces of advice, generalised skills. And if you're really struggling, please get professional support. Thanks for listening, and thanks for helping me listen, Pennie.
Thanks, Shona. Remember, it is okay not to be okay, particularly at this time of year and in these really challenging times. So if you need someone to talk to, you can text Mikeysline on 07786 20 77 55, or you can contact them via Messenger, web chat or Twitter, Sunday to Thursday 6 p.m. to 10 p.m, Friday to Saturday 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Speaking of Suicide is made in partnership with Mikeysline by Adventurous Audio Limited and is supported by Mikeysline and D&D Paving Limited.